Are you now contemplating of what character build you want to play when Baldur's Gate 3 launched on PC? This video is about how multiclassing works in Baldur's Gate 3 and give you some ideas on multiclass character builds. Hello guys, Genuine here of Genuine Gaming, and here is a video on how multiclass works in Baldur's Gate 3 and some multiclass ideas. One thing that got me excited on playing Baldur's Gate 3 is the multiclass mechanics that they allow in the game. The reason I love playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous is because I like to mix and match classes to create a unique class that I want to roleplay and have fun playing with it. It does not need to be a very powerful build, but a build that I like playing and can stand on its own. Good thing they added this D&D 5e feature in the game. Pathfinder and D&D 5e have different rules on how to multiclass. Here are some basic rules on how to multiclass in D&D 5e on which BG3 is based. Prerequisites. As per D&D 5e rule, in order to qualify for a new class, you must meet the ability score prerequisites for both your current class and your new one. For example, cleric who decides to multiclass into a wizard class must have both wisdom and intelligence scores of 13 or higher. But BG3 exclude this rule. You can now multiclass to any class you want even without reaching the required ability scores. In fact, Larian Studios, the developer of the game, announced that you can multiclass to all the 12 classes and get an achievement out of it. Experience points. The XP cost to gain a level is always based on your total character level as shown in this table, and not your level in a particular class. So if you're a level 3 rogue and a level 1 fighter, you must gain enough XP to reach 5th level before you can take your 2nd level as a fighter or 4th level as a rogue. Hit points and hit dice. You gain the hit points from your class as described 4 levels after first. You gain the 1st level hit points for your class only when you are a 1st level character. So if you're a level 3 rogue and would multiclass into a fighter, you get 1d10 hit dice or 6 plus constitution modifier and not a score of 10 plus constitution modifier. Proficiency bonus. Your proficiency bonus is always based on your total character level. So if you are a level 3 rogue and a level 1 fighter, your character proficiency is equal to your character level, which is 4. A 4th level character has proficiency bonus of +2. Proficiencies. When you gain a level in a class other than your first, you gain only some of the class starting proficiencies as shown in the multiclassing in this table. So if you are a level 3 rogue, when you multiclass to the fighter class for the first time, you do not gain the heavy armor proficiency. Unlike if you start with the fighter class at 1st level, which gives you all proficiencies to armor, light, medium, and heavy. Same as you are a level 3 fighter. If you multiclass to the rogue class for the first time, you do not gain proficiency of all skills listed in the rogue class. You only have to choose one. Class features. When you gain a new level in a class, you get its features for that level. A few features, however, have additional rules when you are multiclassing. Channel Divinity. If you already have the Channel Divinity feature and gain a level in a class that also grants the feature, you gain the Channel Divinity effects granted by that class. But getting the feature again doesn't give you an additional use of it. You gain additional uses only when you reach a class level that explicitly grants them to you. For example, if you are a 5th level cleric and a 4th level paladin, you can only use Channel Divinity only once. But when you reach 6th level cleric, you can use Channel Divinity twice because you are high enough level in the cleric class to have more uses. Whenever you use the feature, you can choose any of the Channel Divinity effects available to you from your 2 classes. Extra Attack. If you gain the Extra Attack class feature from more than one class, the feature don't get added together. Unarmored Defense. If you already have the Unarmored Defense feature, you can't gain it again from another class. Spellcasting. Your capacity for spellcasting depends partly on your combined levels in all your spellcasting classes and partly on your individual levels in those classes. If you multiclass but have the spellcasting feature from one class, you follow the rules of that class. So if you are 2 levels of fighter and 4 levels of wizard, you follow the rules as described in the wizard class. Things get confusing if you have 3 levels of sorcerer and 3 levels of warlock. Then we follow these rules. Spells known and prepared. You determine what spells you know and can prepare for each class individually, as if you were a single classed member of that class. So if you have 4 levels of ranger and 3 levels of wizard, you know 3 first level ranger spells, 3 wizard cantrips, and your spellbook contains 10 wizard spells plus number of spells depending on your ability modifier. Spell slots. You determined your available spell slots by adding together all your levels in the bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, and wizard classes. Half of your level in the paladin and ranger class, and a third of your level if you are an eldritch knight or an arcane trickster. The sum of it will be your spellcaster level. So if you are a level 3 fighter with eldritch knight subclass and 1 level of wizard, that would make you level 2 multiclass spellcaster. Based on the multiclass spellcaster table, you have 3 spell slots for first level spells. Pact Magic. If you have both spellcasting class feature and the Pact Magic class feature from the warlock class, you can use the spell slots you gain from the Pact Magic feature to cast spells you know or have prepared from classes with the spellcasting class feature. And you can use the spell slots you gain from the spellcasting class feature to cast warlock spells you know. More or less, those are the rules of multiclassing if we try to follow the D&D 5e rules. What we know as of now, Larian Studios only disregarded the required ability score rule in order to multiclass. If you do not know what you're doing when you multiclass, you might end up having a weak character as you might skip all those powerful features of a certain class. And since Larian Studios put a level cap up to level 12, I suggest not to go for a pure multi-class build, but to dip into some classes in order to gain some powerful features of their class. The reason for going for a multi-class dip rather than go for an all-out multi-class is the level cap up to level 12. You might end up having a character who is good at many things but not strong on something. You might get into a roadblock because your character is not strong enough to fight a very difficult enemy. Multi-class dips would allow you to sacrifice 1 or 2 levels of your main class to get a very strong class feature of another class. The most common multi-class dip that I know is the 2 levels of fighter dip, wherein you gain Action Surge. Action Surge allows you to take 1 additional action on top of your regular action. That would mean if you are a 5 level of wizard and a 2 level of fighter, you could cast 2 spells in a round by expanding your Action Surge ability. Others would want to dip in either level 1 monk or level 1 barbarian to gain Unarmored Defense, wherein at first level, while you're wearing no armor and not wielding a shield, your AC is equal to 10 plus dexterity modifier plus your wisdom modifier if you dip into the monk class, or your constitution modifier if you dip into the barbarian class. If you dip into a monk, you gain martial arts, wherein you can use the attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon on your turn. You can make 1 unarmed strike as a bonus action. If you dip into a barbarian, you gain rage, wherein you can use it as a bonus action and have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Last example that I can give so that this video won't go that long is the 2 levels of rogue dip. This will give your character an extra skill proficiency plus the expertise feature of the rogue, wherein your proficiency is doubled for any ability check you make that uses the chosen proficiency. You also gain a sneak attack, wherein once per turn you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on their attack roll. The attack must use a finesse or a ranged weapon. At level 2, you gain Rogue's Cunning action, wherein you can take a bonus action in each of your turns in combat. This action can be used to take dash, disengage, or hide action, that is, per D&D 5e rules. I will try to make my top multi-class dips before the BG3 launches, so make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Ciao!